If you own a Corvette and keep it long enough, sooner or later it's gonna need repairs in addition to general maintenance. You might get a check engine light, a miss, a squeal, it won't start, the brakes are grinding, or any other number of things. Modern Corvettes are complex machines with hundreds of parts. Some are mechanical like brake pads, some are electrical like oxygen sensors, and unfortunately many parts will just simply fail from time to time. When that day comes and you realize that your Corvette needs a repair, most owners instantly think, where can I take my Corvette that's good? How much is this gonna cost me? And are they gonna try to rip me off? Those are all fair and great questions, and by watching this video, you should be in a better position to make the process of getting your Corvette fixed a little less scary and hopefully a little less expensive. First off, most Corvette repair shops out there are both ethical and fair, but as we all know, there are a few out there that are a bit sketchy. Whatever you do, please don't paint them all with the same broad brush and treat them like they're criminals. It's unfair and it's a disservice to the good shops out there. And quite frankly, for the good shops, it takes a lot of the fun out of making an honest living fixing enthusiasts' Corvettes. So let's jump into 5 things you can do to avoid being a victim of the dishonest shops out there.
Toys for life.
Number 1, and there's no way around it, but like most important things in life, knowledge is power. The more you know about staying healthy, investing, personal finance, and related to this video, how your Corvette works, the better off you're gonna be. Now, you don't have to go to automotive trade school to learn how these cars work. You can learn an awful lot simply by doing. And today, more than ever, the internet is full of all kinds of great videos that teach you how these cars work. And in addition to that, there's all kinds of step-by-step how-to videos, especially for the older Corvettes, that will walk you through all of the common maintenance type items you'd ever need to do. And there's even quite a few videos that cover advanced repair topics. Even if you don't plan on making the repair yourself, watching a video or two on the diagnostics and how to complete the repair will teach you an awful lot on everything that's involved in making that repair and how much time it might take. And those 2 items should help you to be able to ask intelligent questions. That last item of being able to ask intelligent questions is extremely important because it effectively puts the ruthless shops out there on notice that you are not a Corvette repair dummy, and it makes them think twice about trying to rip you off because you might just be smart enough to call them out. Number 2 on the list, and it dovetails nicely with number 1, which was knowledge, is try to do most of the maintenance activities on your Corvette if you can, and better yet, try to diagnose and make some repairs as well. Now, obviously, this won't be in the cards for everybody, but if you are somewhat mechanically inclined, and if you are physically able, and if you have some tools and a place to work, and if you have some interest in learning more and working on your Corvette, and if you have another car that is your daily driver, then there's really no reason you shouldn't be attempting to do all of your own maintenance and hopefully some of the repairs as well. And like I already said, especially if your Corvette is at least 10 years old, you're very likely to find a wealth of very good videos and information on YouTube and places like the Corvette Forum. They'll probably go through step-by-step how to do all of the basic maintenance activities on these cars. And most likely you're even going to find videos on some of the more common repairs and even some of the advanced repairs. Doing your own work is by far the best way to avoid getting ripped off because you cut the shop out of the equation altogether. And as a bonus, nobody cares more about your Corvette than you do, so I know that you'll do a good job. And as a second bonus, most enthusiasts report a sense of satisfaction by doing their own maintenance, and they report a sense of very strong satisfaction by completing a successful repair. Method number 3. Most Corvette owners want to get even more involved in the Corvette experience, and many choose to do that by joining their local Corvette club. And chances are, since the Corvette is the most iconic American sports car ever made, you will be able to find a club within a reasonable distance of where you live. And while you're mingling with your new Corvette buddies and attending club events, find out who the more technically savvy guys are, and every club has a few of the go-to guys that know quite a bit about the maintenance and repair of these vehicles, and which are the best local shops that do good work at a good price. Sometimes you'll even find mechanics within the club that do work on the side, and oftentimes it's going to be less expensive with more satisfaction than you might find at a regular shop. Just be sure to vet these individuals, pun intended, like you would any other shop, in this case by asking other club members who have used their services if they've been satisfied. Number 4, unless you live in a pretty rural area, you really need to find a shop that specializes in Corvettes, or if that's too narrowly focused for the area you live in, perhaps a late model GM performance shop if you have a later generation Corvette, or if yours is one of the first few generations, try to find a shop that specializes in classics. I firmly believe that being specialized gives a shop a tremendous advantage at being very good and very knowledgeable about certain cars like our Corvettes. If a shop doesn't specialize at all, just think about it. One moment they're working on Kias, then Fords, then Hyundais, then smart cars, and so on and so on. And while I do think it's possible to become a good mechanic working on a little bit of everything, I think it's difficult to be a great mechanic at certain vehicles if you're trying to be everything to everybody. Number 5, seek out, look for, and attend your local Corvette car shows. If you can't find any of them, find any local car show you can and find the Corvette owners. Many Corvette owners have had their cars for a long time, and they should be able to direct you towards the better Corvette shops and the ones to steer away from. Be sure to ask several owners about their Corvette shop experiences one-on-one, and soon you will see the trend of which shops continue to rise to the top and which shops sink to the bottom. Number 6, before making any appointments, hopefully the shop is local to you. That way, if anything unusual comes up while they're repairing your car, it'll be convenient for you to stop by so you can discuss what the issues are. Be sure to stop by that shop again before making any appointment and talk to the owner if it's a smaller shop or the service manager if it's a larger facility. Ask them about what kind of cars they typically work on before telling them you're seeking Corvette service, and then work towards the details about the specific generation Corvette you have and what your service needs are. Unfortunately, some shops no longer are able to work on the older generation Corvettes, and if that excludes your car, then you're done. If they do work on your generation of Corvette, ask for a quick tour. Sometimes they'll say no due to insurance reasons, but sometimes they will give you a quick look around, especially if they're proud of their operation and if they're not concerned about what you might see when you go behind the curtain. Sometimes you'll be left with a good warm fuzzy about the shop and its people. Other times you'll want to run, not walk out that front door. Now imagine the latter if you had already made an appointment and you were just leaving your baby with that shop. Hopefully I've given you guys a few things to think about when seeking professional and competent repair service for your Corvette. And I'll leave you with this. If you have a Corvette that you care about and intend to keep for a long time, spend more than just a few minutes finding the right shop for your Corvette. Find the right shop and your Corvette will have a great long-term relationship with them. Find the wrong shop and you'll likely have a painful and expensive lesson. If you learned something from today's video, go ahead and tap that thumbs up so YouTube knows to share. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And most of all, thanks for watching.